I'm Jeff Fritz with SoundStage.com, and I'm joined today by Gary Dayton. He is the global go-to market manager for Marantz. Gary, how are you today?
Doing great, Jeff. Thanks for having me on.
Well, I appreciate you being here, and you guys had a big announcement, a new Marantz product in the past 7 days, and that is the 40N network streaming integrated amplifier, and we want to hear all about it. So, Gary, tell us about the 40N.
Yes, this is a really exciting new amplifier for us. The Model 40N, as you said, is a networked integrated amplifier. It contains all the trappings of a traditional integrated amp, great quality preamp, good quality power amplifier with all the convenience features that come with having a digital section built in with streaming. And then there's a few other little treats built in. HDMI ARC input for making it easy to pull audio out of your TV. And then there's a subwoofer output as well. So if you want to expand from a simple 2-channel stereo into a little 2.1 home theater, Model 40N is well set up to accommodate that as well.
Yeah, the convenience features, I actually did not catch the subwoofer output. That's a great feature, obviously, because it would take a small, bookshelf stand mount speaker system, oriented system, and then you turn it into something more full range. So I love that feature. The network features are great, but what I really want to know, and certainly for SoundStage readers and our YouTube channel, the sound quality. How do you guys, how did Marantz take, the engineering for all these convenience features, but also not mess up the sound quality? Really have a solid integrated amplifier as the platform. How did that work?
Well, we were very careful. When we first conceived of the Model 40N, we knew we wanted to have a very performance-focused integrated amplifier that had these convenience features built in, and that comes from our target audience. We had a really clear mind when we set out to design this product about who we wanted to find this product attractive. We knew that it had to be a very high-performing amplifier first and foremost. Anybody who's willing to spend $2,000 or more on a piece of audio equipment is probably not buying their first stereo. They probably know what good sound quality is. So that means we have to get the basics right. We've got to have very low distortion preamplifier, low distortion amplifier built in, the ability to drive loudspeakers with confidence and dynamic range. And it has to sound great with a wide variety of loudspeakers. Now, the fact that it's an integrated suggests to us that somebody is having to make either some space compromises or they're just unwilling to have a full stack of gear in their listening room, living room, den, or wherever this thing is placed. So we had to get clever about packaging up all of this into one small box. Now that inherently is going to limit the amount of power, the kind of product can have. We can't make this a 500 watt per channel integrated and have a small box. But we also wanted to be able to build in our amplifier section and line level side and digital side in such a way where the sections are properly shielded from each other, so we can keep the noise down. We don't know if somebody's going to be using this with a 95 dB sensitive pair of loudspeakers or an 85 dB sensitive pair of loudspeakers, whether they'll be listening very loudly or very softly. So we were very, very sensitive to make sure that the sections were separated and the noise was kept to an absolute minimum. And then furthermore, we went to great lengths to shield the sections from one another, even aside from just spacing them apart in the chassis. So this required some creativity in the engineering and the design and layout of the circuits. Obviously, the circuits have to be capable of rejecting noise on their own. And after, I think, what was about an 18-month development cycle, we think we got it nailed. We ended up with a product that really doesn't sacrifice sound quality in any meaningful way, but still happens to have all of these features built in.
Now, what was the power output rating, Gary? I think I missed that.
It's 70 watts per channel into 8 ohms, and it'll produce about 100 watts per channel into 4 ohms. So it's got plenty of power to drive most speakers into most rooms to a satisfactory level. We're not going to be driving very low sensitive loudspeakers in a giant room to ear splitting levels, but that's not really this customer either.
Well, one other thing, and you mentioned the price point. I think the retail in North America is $2,500. Is that correct?
Mhm. Yep, that's right.
So, one of the things that you guys, obviously paid attention to as well, and I see this from the photos, is the industrial design. The product looks terrific. And I don't know what you guys call that new faceplate design, if there's a specific name for it, but it looks like a product that you don't have to hide away. It doesn't look like a inexpensive mass market receiver. It looks like a piece of high-end gear. Can you tell us a little bit about the cosmetics, the industrial design?
hmm Yeah, thank you, by the way, for saying that. We did very deliberately design the aesthetic of this product. Performance is necessary, but it's not sufficient, to make a really good quality piece of equipment that's going to transcend audiophile circles and find greater appeal in the luxury market. So we thought it was very important that the product not be hidden away, but we didn't want it to be ostentatious and flashy. It needed to be very distinctive. So as you pointed out, we developed this two-piece front panel design originally for our Model 30 and our SACD 30N, which came out in 2020, and we adapted that design for Model 40N. So we've got an aluminum front panel, a control surface upon which the volume knob, input selector, tone controls, and balance control are all located, with the porthole display center on the panel. And then behind that, we've got that lightly textured back shell that just is subtly lit by some white LED side lights that are right behind the control surface. So yeah, I mean, we think it's a really elegant design. It looks great in black, Marantz black, as well as our silver gold finish. And while it looks great out on display and doesn't need to be hidden, it's not necessarily going to be the flashiest thing in your room.
Now, are both finishes that you mentioned, the black and the silver gold, are they both available in North America? Because I know there are times where we only get one finish, and then you
Mhm.
see other things in Europe. Are both finishes available here or no?
Yep. Yeah, we get both finishes here. I think our first production run for North America was black only. So
Okay.
it may be a couple of months yet before we see the silver gold come in. But yep, we will have both for sure.
Awesome. Great. Well, that really gives us a good overview of the 40N. So the last question that I have for you, Gary, is tell us what we can expect from Marantz in 2022. It's still early in the year, and I'm sure there's some other things planned. Can you give us any insight on what's coming from Marantz?
I'll give you just a little taste. I'm not going to let all the secrets out, but we do have quite a number of new products coming this year. And a lot of them will follow the same design language that's found in Model 40N and our 30 series products. You'll see some new products both in the hi-fi category as well as in the home theater category. So it's a very exciting product release year for us, Jeff, and I think that people are going to be equally excited when they see it. But loose lips sink ships, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut for now and wait for the release to come out.
I hear you. Well, okay. Well, actually, this is going to be the last question. Availability of the 40N. Is it shipping now? If somebody wants to go buy one, what's that look like?
Yep, they're on the water. They're all produced at Shirakawa Audio Works, our premier manufacturing facility in Japan. And the first run is produced. The second run is in process. We're simply awaiting on arrival into port of our first run now. So we expect that boat to dock any day. So the hope is that we'll start to see these on the shelf by the first week of March.
Awesome. Well, Gary, thanks so much for joining me, man. I really, really appreciate it. And we'll be talking to you maybe the next time Marantz launches something, maybe the next few months or so.
Oh, I hope so. All right. Well, thanks so much for your interest, Jeff.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All right. Take care.